Have you ever noticed how some videos just instantly grab you? Could be a fight, a story, or basically it's a headline that doesn't match the outcome, and your brain locks in because your brain loves the gap, the difference between what you expect and what's happening. It gets hooked on it. Here's the wild part. The same thing that hooks your attention online is what keeps you stuck in life. Content creators use this intentionally. They use tension, surprise, or contradiction to kind of hook your attention the same way. Your brain gets a hit of dopamine anytime that something is like off, or like it's not matching, right? It piques your interest. So picture this. Skinny dude like me walks into a gym, throws 405 pounds on a bench, and starts repping it out. That's gonna catch your attention. It's way different than what you expected. Now, think about the last time that you got emotionally stuck. There was a mismatch in between what you thought was gonna happen and what actually played out. That gap, that difference, caught your mind in a loop, and it kept playing it over and over and over. I'm gonna break that down for you, so stay tuned. So for example, let's say that there was this girl you really wanted to be with, and you just saw her just being this amazing wife one day and having your children and la 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 la. And unfortunately it didn't work out. You thought you were gonna take her from whatever she was doing to being your wife, and she had different plans for herself. Now maybe you weren't aware of that, and you thought that you were just so amazing that you could change what this person wanted for themselves. You thought that maybe once they got a chance to know you, they would change and fit this image that you drew up in your head. Turns out in reality, she's getting boom blasted by the Las Vegas Raiders starting fucking lineup, and you over here thinking that she's gonna be your wife one day. That difference between what you expected and what happened, boy, it's gonna hook you. Same thing happens to all of us, whether it was a gentleman you were after, was a woman, or just another person. When they don't fit the expectation that we gave them because of this picture we have in our head, it creates this gap and hooks our attention and our emotions. And it doesn't have to be relationships. Maybe you thought more money would make you less busy. That's okay. You can adjust that. It wasn't the money that was the solution. It's maybe what you do to earn a living. Or maybe you feel busy because you're not really doing what you want to do. Maybe we can start redirecting your life in a way that gives you fulfillment and gives you a paycheck. Maybe you thought the new job or thought making more money will lead to more freedom, but you're still exhausted. You're even more tired than before, and you can't quite understand why. Maybe you thought that moving to a new city, a new job, a new promotion would be fulfilling for you or complete you, but you still feel empty. Maybe you thought that helping everyone around you, but you still feel drained. Maybe you thought that being this amazing friend and always being there for someone, they would turn around and always be there for you. What we expect and what plays out when they're different, boy, it hooks you like a motherfucker. Even small things like, let's say there's a girl at your job and you have a secret crush on her, she don't know it, and next thing you know, a guy comes in and she's all over him. And you always expected her subconsciously to be all over you like that. And she's not. Now you see her giving this other guy the attention that you secretly pictured for yourself. That gap, again, it's gonna hook you. And you don't replay this over and over again because you like pain. I mean, some of you guys might like pain. No judgment zone, right? But for most of us, we don't replay that because we like pain. It's because your brain is trying to close the loop. It's trying to figure out why. It's trying to figure out why doesn't life match my expectation? Because that's when life hurts. When what actually happens doesn't match what we anticipated or expected. That's when you get your heartstrings tore up. So how do you break that? So the first thing is awareness. You have to see it because you can't fix a problem that you don't have. You ever talk to somebody like, you got a problem? And they're like, no, I don't. Guess what? They never fixing. So awareness is always the first step. And I'm going to teach you how to become more aware of these things a little bit later in this video. So stay tuned. So once you become aware and you notice the hook, the second thing is to understand and realize what's really hooking you. For most of us, it's our expectation. But to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with expectations. What you expect is going to do a couple of things. One, it drives your behavior because what you expect to play out is like correlate or really connect to how you carry yourself. If I expect people to respond to me in a positive way, I'm going to carry myself a certain way. If I expect to be dismissed or disregarded, I'm going to carry myself differently. Expectations, believe it or not, create the life that you live in. Now, the problem comes in isn't really with your expectations, it's with your attachment. A lot of times we don't realize that our expectations create attachment. And when you become attached to an outcome, you lose your control. You can't control outcomes. You can only control you and what you do, really the process. You don't control results, you control the process. So a lot of us who aren't aware of our expectations or really aren't even aware of the things we're attached to in life, when you have an expectation or this image in your head, you become attached to it. And you don't even realize it. You emotionally connect with it. I'm sure you've had these moments, because when the truth comes out and that image is shattered, your heart's shattered and it's heartbreaking. It's because you were so attached to that fucking outcome. So the way that you break this loop or this hook when your emotions are caught is first by being aware, and secondly, realizing that you're attached to an outcome and changing that attachment to the process, the part you can control. So for example, let's go back to my homie who fell in love with shorty that's Las Vegas Raiders, right? You can't control that, but what you can control is your process. How do you vet people? How do you decide who is worthy of this beautiful kingdom you're picturing in your head? Do you make sure that you guys are in alignment, that you want the same things in the beginning before you even fall in love? Where is your process in that? For those of you guys who may be feeling empty and you're trying to move to a new place, or you get a new job thinking it's going to fill this hole, figure out, get awareness. You got to figure out what your problem actually is, because a lot of the times changing the world around, the world like outside of you, can't fix something that's broken inside. You got to fix the inside, not just change the outside. I can't put on a new shirt and think it's going to fix my broken heart. Like, come on. And then for those of you guys who are like amazing friends to people who always seem to stab you in the back, first of all, start having some boundaries. Like, stop giving away all of yourself. There should be requirements that people have to meet before they have 100% access to you. I'm kind to everyone I meet unless they give me a reason not to be. At the same time, I don't have like blow up mattresses and cots in here giving people who don't have a place to live a home. That is a break of my personal boundaries. I'm not comfortable with someone being in my space like that. Now, if I'm out and about and I got, let's say I got some food and you're hungry, for sure, let's break bread. I'm comfortable with that. But what happens is when you allow people to break these boundaries that you never set up in the first place, you get mad, but you let them do it. You didn't ask them to stop. You didn't let them know. You didn't tell them no. You just gave them the keys to your crib, and then you're mad when you got a whole party in there. Like, come on, fam. What are you doing? So like I said, awareness is first. Second step is removing the attachment from the outcome, attaching yourself to the process. When I go to the gym, I focus on being consistent, not how much stronger I'm getting. I can't control that part. I don't know when my PRs are gonna go up. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to finally squat, 405. Who knows? Freaking knee hurts right now. I can't do anything about that except focus on the process, which right now is rehab. And all that means is I gotta do a little bit more stretching, do a little bit, do some holds and get my knee right so I can throw some more weight on that motherfucker. All right. So please don't do the why me? Why is this happening? And start asking yourself, what did I expect? Or more importantly, what outcome was I attached to? What was this mental image or this picture that I painted that was so important that nothing could happen to it? So when you get done watching this video, take a moment and ask yourself, what have I been replaying in my mind? What seems to constantly keep popping up? What loop? Like, what do I keep looping and playing again and again and again? What is this thing that happened in my life that I just can't seem to understand? Because really that's a sign of the difference between what you expected to happen and what actually played out. And then we're gonna reframe it. Was what happened wrong, or was it just different? You got attached to an outcome, to a result that didn't happen. Why don't you attach to the process and pay attention to your process? What did you do that created that outcome that you didn't like? Or what did you do or didn't do that didn't get that picture in your mind to become true and become real? How can you create something different? There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's always someone that is going to treat you the right way. There's a good friend for you out there. There's a better job, a better place to live. There's solutions for everything. I promise you. I promise you. It's just a fact. So stop fighting reality and start focusing on how you can co-create. How can you go with the flow? All right. You ever seen them dams? What is them things? I don't even think of the name right now, but it's this big wheel that rolls in the water. And as it turns, it generates electricity. Now, does that thing try to push against the current? No, it rolls with the current to create electricity and power whatever the hell people are trying to build or create. So work with the flow of life to get what you want. I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but in reality, all that means is focusing on what you can control and working with the tools that you have to get what you want. All right, keep it simple. Don't overthink it. So here's what you're gonna do. Early in this video, I told you how to increase your awareness. I told you how to catch these hooks that get your emotions and your attention. Here's how you start to break that. Every time that you get frustrated this week, I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. First of all, what of my expectations were violated? Like, what went wrong? Just keep it simple, right? What went wrong? What didn't match the image that you had in your head? What result was I attached to? Think about this. Like, anytime you get mad, what did I expect to happen? What actually happened? When you start paying attention to those moments, when you get frustrated, notice it when you get frustrated, when you feel that tightness in your chest, when you like, yeah, I mean, everybody gets frustrated a little bit different. You know when you're getting mad. In those moments, pay attention to the difference between what happened and what you expected. What's gonna happen is you will start to notice a pattern. It'll help a lot if you write these things down, because when you write it down and you can see it, it makes it real. Once you notice that pattern, you can start to realize your role in it and how you can create something different. Attention and suffering live in the same space. They live in the gap between what you expect and what actually happens. Really not your expectations again, it's really what you're attached to. You get attached to the image. You can replay these moments forever, over and over again, or you can adjust your focus and see where you needed to attach to the process of creating. Focus on what you can control, fam. It's that easy. Stop getting caught up in this bullshit. Stop getting caught up in things not going the right way. Like when I'm on social media and I scroll and I see a hook of somebody just trying to get my attention, I'm like, oh, you just want my attention. Scroll, and I'm out of there. It's that easy in life. Oh, I'm upset because this didn't go my way. It's not a big deal. I can just make something else. Or that's okay, another opportunity will come. Oh, that's all right, I can get another job. Oh, that's okay, promotion's on the way. Oh, that's all right, I can find a better friend. Oh, and the favorite one of all, there are plenty of fish in the sea. All right, so we're gonna unhook, or really we're gonna learn to detach from our expectation and focus on creating. If this clicked for you, every video that I put out is designed to expand that awareness until your mind works for you and not against you. All right, y'all. Peace. See you in the next one.